Hello everyone. Today, we're diving into how to install Uptime Kuma using the latest feature from the Jcloud team, their new container scripts. On the screen, you'll see 4 different plans, each offering unique resources and specifications. For this tutorial, we'll be using the medium plan to set up Uptime Kuma, but feel free to pick the plan that best suits your needs. Let's get started. To create our container, the first thing we need to do is go to the Container Scripts channel. Once there, we are going to click the Containers button. This will create a channel at the top of the server. Now that we are in the channel, let's select the preset that we're going to use. And now let's select how many ports we are going to forward. For Uptime Kuma, we only need 1 port, so let's select that. Now that everything is ready, let's click the Continue button. This will ask if we have any questions. If you have any questions, you can put them there, or you can comment on this video and we will respond to you. Now let's enter our email address for contacting you in case you don't respond via Discord. To avoid spamming, the bot will ask for our name. Now let's select how many months we want to pay for. In this case, we are going to choose 1 month, but we can change it later if needed. After that, we need to select the payment method. We are going to use PayPal for this tutorial. Now let's click Yes, and the order will be sent to the admins. Once they verify the payment, our container will start to be created. This doesn't take more than a minute. Now we receive a message similar to this. The first thing is the IP address. Below the IP is the port we can use to connect via SSH. Below that is the username for logging into the container. Below the username is the password. Finally, we can see the open ports. The first one is the SSH port, and the second is the port that is open in our container and accessible via the IP. The first thing we need to do is open the command prompt cmd on our computer. And now let's type in SSH to p port root at IP address. Replace port with the port number from the message and IP address with the IP address of the machine. Now, click Enter and type Yes to add the container to the trusted hosts of your machine. After that, we need to enter the password for the machine. Go to the message, copy the password, and then paste it using the right click. After that, press Enter. Now we are logged into our container. The first thing we need to do is check for updates. For that, we're going to use apt update -y. Now, as we can see, our system has found updates. The next thing we need to do is install the updates using apt upgrade -y. Once that is finished, we can start installing the dependencies and required packages for Uptime Kuma. We are going to install Git and NVM for installing Node.js and NPM. Let's start with Git by using apt install Git. Now press Y on your keyboard and then press Enter. Let's wait a few seconds for the installation to complete. Now let's check if Git is installed by typing Git. As we can see, we have an output, so now let's move on to installing NVM. To do that, we're going to open our web browser and search for NVM. Click on the first link and scroll down until we see the Installing and Updating section. Here, we're going to copy the wget command. Now let's paste the command into our terminal and press Enter. This will start the installation of NVM, and as we can see, it finishes quickly. To ensure we can use it, we need to re-enter our shell by typing bash, and we're going to type nvm install 18 to install version 18 of Node.js on our system. As we can see, it's installed. Now let's use it by typing bash nvm use 18. And now we need to install npm. We will do this by typing apt install npm. Let's press the Y key on our keyboard and then press Enter. Now that the installation is finished, we will check that everything is installed correctly. First, we'll check Node.js by typing node version. As we can see, version 18 is installed. Next, let's check npm by typing npm verify that it's also installed. Now let's go back to our browser, scroll up to the GitHub logo, and click it. This will take us to the main GitHub page. Next, search for Uptime Kuma and click on the first result. Scroll down until you reach the non-Docker installation section. Once here, copy the first command. After copying, paste it into your terminal. This will clone the GitHub repository of Uptime Kuma. Now enter the clone repository using cd uptime-kuma. Now let's run npm run setup to install all the dependencies we need. This may take some time, so let's speed it up. Now let's start Uptime Kuma by running bash node server.js -port = 2256. After pressing enter, as we can see, it's listening on port 2256. Let's open our web browser and go to the IP address of our container, followed by the port of Uptime Kuma. Once we're here, let's set up our account. In my case, I'll use Jcloud as the username and enter a password twice. Now let's click the Create button, and we are going to click the button to create a new monitor. The first thing we need to add is the monitor name. In my case, I'll use Google, and for the URL, enter google.com. Now click the Save button, and as we can see, we have our first monitor set up. Now let's create a status page by clicking the Status Page button and then clicking Add. Enter the name of the page, e.g. Jcloud, and the slug, also Jcloud. Click Next to proceed. Add a group and include Google in that group. Finally, click Save, and as we can see, it's set up. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to set up your own Uptime Kuma, you can join the Jcloud Discord server and purchase our new container scripts feature. If you need help setting it up or want us to install it for you, open a ticket and we will install it for free.